We don't call ourselves a fitness company. What we call ourselves is a more life company. That we give people more life. We give you more effervescent, more energy, hopefully a few more years on at the end. That's how we see ourselves. So we're looking for people who want to commit themselves to work with other individuals, all different levels, all different sizes, and give them more life. We're real clear of what we're here to do.
What is your marketing strategy? Is it all word of mouth? Is it I don't know. I apologize. But what is your strategy? What's worked best for you in helping you to grow?
Yeah, it has been very organic, word of mouth. Many of our franchisees were members before they decided to buy a franchise. And they just, again, became raving fans and said, I got to get on this path. I need, to become a franchisee.
Yes.
So we built this whole, conglomerate of individuals from raving fans.
And tell us about two major challenges you faced in the business at some stage that maybe shook you up or shook your team up, and how'd you turn it around?
The first year of franchising, so there's myself and our two partners, franchising or duplicating any business, and Danny, you know this, is about people, the processes, and of course the program or the product. So we started franchising, and we didn't select the right people who would be partners with us as franchisees. They weren't the right individuals. And we didn't.
And how did you know that?
Yeah.
How did you know they were?
Well, as we only had a few open, and as we are going and looking for consistency in the product, and in a franchise, you can't start just selling random things.
Yep.
So all of a sudden, there's milkshakes and vitamins, and like, well, whose are these? It's like mine. Well, you can't do that.
Yes.
So that consistency is very, very important. And then the processes, we, started very, very small, and we didn't really have a lot of staff to put a lot of that together. The three of us started putting that together, and we realized, we have to find experts in each one of those areas so that so we stopped franchising.
You stopped.
We decided after a year, we're not going to take people's money. We're not going to do this.
Smart.
We're not going to just franchise to say, we have 500 franchises. We want 500, 1,000 profitable franchises. That's what the three of us decided. And we said we'd be good if we had 30. We'd be excited if we had 30. We were very excited in the beginning. We said if we can hit 30 and they're profitable franchises, we'd be very, very excited. So that was challenging. We stopped and we said, let's reboot. Let's not take anyone's money until we really feel like we have a legit product here. And, that's what I'm so proud about the partners that I do have, that we were all on that same wavelength of taking care of doing the right thing.
That makes sense. That makes so much sense. Tell me another example. Because when people see you, they see a rocket ship. So it's really important for them to realize the rocket ships, have their starts and stops as well. And also to hear how you solved it.
Yeah, I think that... we're in the people business. So what's tough in growing pains in a company is when you start small, okay, and you've got certain people that are managing certain areas, and we're 8 years old. We have 1,100 studios. We have 450 studios in the works of, getting leases signed, so on and so forth. Yeah. We're in 23 different countries. The workout's done in 8 different languages. So that very quick growth in 8 years, you may have certain people heading certain areas or departments in your company that it's kind of outgrown who they are. And that's, I take it very much to heart with you people who have committed with us from the beginning in the company, and we try frantically to find the right seat on the bus for them.
Yes.
But sometimes it is not the one that they came in the beginning, and sometimes that's a little stressful.
How do you deal with that? Because you obviously are a people person.
Yeah.
Are you the one that does it, or someone else do it?
Well, it's, when we were small, it was more the manager, the partner who did that. But we're all very involved in the company. We try relentlessly to find the best seat in the bus for them. Yes. And we have individuals who are still with us who maybe shifted the seat one over or back and readjusted. And those that just resisted and was like, no, I could take this where it needs to go. We support them in every which way, but sometimes
Yeah.
you have to change the seat.
What is your culture, and how do you keep that scaled across 1,500 centers almost now?
Yeah, the culture is really
And how do you define culture? I like your definition, if we may.
well, I think for us, it really was, it came from our small footprint and really making sure that it's funny when I hear you overextend, produce for the
Over-deliver.
member coming in. They're coming in for a fitness product and we're giving them all this individualized attention, all this technology. So, we have a lot of events that we pull together to keep the group very, very tight. Social media that are more like.
What kind of events?
So we have like a dry try. So it's a triathlon that's on dry land, what's in our studios.
Okay.
And then all the other studios, or everyone across all of the studios are doing it at the same time.
Okay.
So then everyone comes together and roots for each other and this type of thing. We have and it's coming up in about 4 weeks, an educational summit that it's very important for us to educate our coaches, our managers, our sales staff. Many times people, they want to make the best money they can, but you know what? They really appreciate you developing them.
Yes.
And that's become very important to us. And we actually created what we call Orange University. And it is a whole section of different training modules for individuals who stay with us to develop them. So you've got someone who's a college that comes in as a manager, and we want, if you're going to stay with us or not, we want to develop you.
That's great.
A coach who's working with individuals on the floor. Many of our coaches, us fitness people, we do fitness because we're artists. We're just passionate about working with people physically, but we want to keep growing them. So we have found that's been just huge for creating such a culture amongst our professionals that, wow, look what you get with this product.
And I've always found that to be true. There's only 3 types of motivation, I really believe. There's fear, which never lasts. You can see that in despots. They eventually get kicked out. Certainly happens in business as well as countries. There's the idea of incentives. Incentives are wonderful, but you can only incentivize so much and still have a margin. And if you only reward people for what they do, then pretty soon they don't even feel good about themselves because I'm doing it to get something, very much like the tip description that you gave, Danny. And then there's personal development. There's this sense of autonomy, the sense that I'm growing, I'm expanding, and that I found to be extraordinarily valuable. What won't you stand for? You have to hold a standard in the industry. Where do you say this person's got to go? Because many people, we've all heard the phrase, it's not the person you hire, it's the person you fail to fire that messes up your culture.